In 1963, a Baltimore Colt rookie named John Mackey reinvented the position of tight end. With number 88, the position skipped many phases in its natural evolution. It was like stepping from a biplane into the space shuttle.
I always felt that he was a tackle playing the end. John Mackey's a guy you'd like to forget. He was just too big to play the position he played.
Mackey is the toughest runner I've ever had to tackle in my career. Mackey could turn a 2-yard look-in pass into an 80-yard touchdown simply by running over people. He was the strongest runner I've ever had to tackle.
He'd catch the ball deep, and then the show started downfield once he caught the ball, because he had strong legs, and this explosive power that he had really began to show itself in meeting tacklers.
You know, I always felt that you should get something out of every play. So consequently, if I had 5 or 6 guys that were going to make the tackle, what I tried to do was to punish one, so that if I ever got in that situation again, I would run directly at the one I had punished. I always tried to get something out of every play. There were many times when I knew I couldn't go all the way. I never thought I was like a Mack truck. I really don't know why I broke those tackles, other than the fact that I think you have an edge when you think go for the goal line. And when you practice every time you catch the ball on going for the goal line, I think it gives you just an extra step that enables you to break some tackles.
I think it would have been terrifying for a defensive back. We had several plays. We had a whole offense that was designed just to get him the ball. We didn't care if he was covered or not, if he had the ball, because he'd run over the first guy and run away from the rest. And I remember a great run he made against the Bears one day. Chuck Thompson was describing the action, and he runs over 2 or 3 linebackers, and about the 10-yard line, Rosie Taylor jumps on his back, and about the 3, he falls off. And Thompson, in this fit of glee, as he goes into the end zone, he says, and Rosie Taylor was very fortunate. He fell off rather than being run over. And John was like a runaway freight train.
On November 20th, 1966, this runaway locomotive ran over, then away from the entire Detroit Lion defense. A 64-yard touchdown that is arguably the greatest play in pro football history.
Basically what happened, I caught a little diagonal pass and I turned up. And I started running toward the goal line. And when I saw those defenders coming, I made up in my mind that I was going to punish somebody. They had about 7 or 8 guys that were waiting to make the tackle. I closed my eyes and just said, I'm just going to ram into it. And I came right through it.
John was afraid of anything living that moved that wasn't human.
Dennis Gallbats put a locust inside my pads.
Once every 7 years, these locusts come to Westminster, Maryland. They're about, 4 inches long, and they make this incredible deep trill. And so Gallbats gets the locust, and he puts it in John's thigh, place where his thigh pads would normally go. So we get in the huddle, and Unitas is calling the play, and everybody's just trying to restrain themselves, and suddenly we hear this loud sound. It goes... Mackey, who's so intense in practice all the time, he just listened to the play. And there's a repeat of the sound. Now Unitas is starting to break up, so he can't call the play.
I heard this buzzing sound, and I looked down, and my thigh was vibrating. And I had no idea what it was. I came out of my pants right on the field, and Shula panicked and said, surround him, you got to surround him.
And there were always 400 or 500 people at practice, but the pants came off. Mackey's pants came off. So a lot of people had a good idea of what John looked like.
John Mackey played like Hollywood's creation of a pro football player. And indeed, his feats seemed more fantasy than fact. Like a select few, he transformed a team game into an individual sport. It is unfortunate that a man that could not be overpowered or overtaken is so overlooked. John "Mack Truck" Mackey, who was carved in stone, should be cast in bronze as the first tight end in the Hall of Fame.